welcome to Digital Shifts, also known as Corporate Evolution Tales. Join us as we dive into the dynamic world of digital transformation. From illuminating case studies to captivating narratives, we uncover the stories behind companies' journeys toward digital excellence. Whether you are a seasoned corporate leader or an aspiring innovator, our podcast explores the shifts, challenges of modern business evolution. Hello, everyone. This is Digital Shifts, aka Corporate Evolution Tales, and today our guest is Rohit Bohara. Hello, how are you, Rohit?
I'm good. I'm enjoying the Friday.
This is a podcast we decided to do on Friday. That's right. Awesome. Well, can you give a brief overview of who Rohit Bohara is and in which industry you work?
Yeah, currently I'm working with Ashwin. I'm CTO at Ashwin, and my tasks are product development, and also we have research wing. We call it Ashwin Lab, and there we do research on three topics: IoT security, AI security, and automotive security, which makes sense because we are based in Stuttgart, which is called Mecca of automobiles. And on both the activities, I'm the tech lead. And my background is I did my master's here at the University of Stuttgart in embedded security. And before that, I worked with AMD on validation and verifications of microchips. And before that, I was with LG Electronics, and I worked there in Bangalore for 2.5 years, and I was in 1 year in South Korea for other activities.
Awesome. This is pretty impressive.
And just to complete, at Ashwin, we have some cybersecurity products. One is called Device Security Booster, by which we are delivering software updates for IoT devices. And the second product that we have since 1.5 years, which is about risk by context. And there we do risk analysis of OT environment, IT environment, and we help our customers to allocate their resources to fix their cybersecurity issues.
That's awesome. Well, you mentioned about cybersecurity. I think that's one of the topics that a lot of people are speaking about. And do you think you can more explain about the cybersecurity and how you are doing on that field?
Right. So our focus is on OT security, which is operational technology. So these machines which are used in production environment, and these machines, OT devices, what we call them, these are industrial control system, PLCs, and other kind of OT devices, which are part in manufacturing, which are part of our critical network, critical infrastructure as well in oil, energy, gas, water. And these devices now are getting connected with IoT technology, with the IT environment, and on top of that now runs some cloud applications. There are some AI applications which are running on these machines, and constantly these machines are sending some sensor data, some other types of data to the cloud, by which the companies are able to do the predictive maintenance. They are able to monitor the performance of the machines. And on the one hand, it has brought in a lot of value to the OT environment because they are connected and providing all these details to the cloud. But on the other hand, it has increased the attack surface of these OT machines. In the past, these machines were isolated from the IT environment. And now, because of this integration, the attack surface is large. The attack vectors have increased for these machines. It's the cybersecurity of OT environment is completely different from IT environment. You cannot generate patch for these machines quite quickly as you would do in IT environment.
Yeah.
And when you do a security analysis, or if you do the vulnerability check of these machines, you would find 2,000 or 3,000 vulnerabilities, known vulnerabilities in a production environment. And there are some studies that if you want to fix a high risk vulnerability, it takes around 200 to 260 days. So imagine if you have 3,000 vulnerabilities in your environment, and even if you have infinite number of resources, you won't be able to generate patches for these vulnerabilities and risks. And that's where we come in, and we say that we analyze your environment. We look what is the context of your devices, in where these devices run, what kind of software these devices run. And based on this contextual information, we are prioritizing the risks. So we say you have 5,000 cyber risks, but here these are the 10 cybersecurity risks that you should focus on, and then you can channelize all your resources in fixing those risks.
Yeah, that's very cool. Awesome. So we spoke about like the cybersecurity and the risks and analyzing stuff. What do you think about digital transformation? Can we somehow connect the security and risk management with also the digital transformation generally that is going on with a lot of companies?
Definitely, definitely. If you want to do cybersecurity risk analysis, like we do in our case also, we want that customers, they have the visibility of their environment. They need to know what kind of assets are present, what kind of processes, what kind of data is there in there. That digital transformation helps on that regard. It helps you to make data-driven decisions. And only if you have all these things, once you have the control over the data, once you know what kind of data exists in your environment, what processes, what different types of data they are generating, then you can talk about data security, talk about the digital technologies that you are using to collect this data or manage this data, how you secure these different aspects of these digital technologies.
Yeah, really cool. We actually recently, I was participating in the process of getting the ISO 27001 certificate, which also is like the stuff that is related to data security. They learned so much about it. I mean, like we had customers that already had that kind of certificates on their side, but when you are in that process, you are learning so much about stuff and about the risks that there can be really, and even with the part of the cybersecurity and data security and all that stuff. So I think it's really important also to educate companies inside, like all employees knowing about the stuff and having that knowledge is very important. So yeah, it's really cool. Thank you so much for that.
I will just make one point on what you are telling. So I think in this process of digital transformation, that's where the company make a mistake. And they when they start focusing on the technology part, instead of going to what you mentioned about this change management, because this digital transformation is going to completely transform all aspect of the business. So your employees should be ready for that change. It requires this cultural shift in your business, and there it's quite important that the employees have the right skills, they are ready for this change.
Yes, for sure. Did you walk us through the different stages of phases of digital transformation that like you experienced or you want to share with our people that are listening to us?
Definitely. So I think, like I mentioned, the companies, they should not start directly with the technologies. They should not fall into this trap that, yeah, we want to use AI technology, which is quite a boom at this point, or we want to use blockchain technology to transform our business. This is not the right approach. First, they need to have vision. Say that why do they need the digital transformation? What kind of objectives they want to achieve using the digital transformations? Once they outline what they want to achieve, then comes the part how they want to achieve this. They need to have this strategy to achieve these objectives. And in the strategy planning, in the strategy, they need to establish what competitive advantage it's going to give compared to their other companies which are out there in the same market and doing other stuff, or they have digital transformation at this point or in the process of that. And once you have this vision and strategy, then you can go into the planning of how you want to achieve these goals that you have settled, or how many resources you would require, what would be the time period you want to achieve. And then comes the technology part, then comes the implementation part. Once you have the complete planning for all your digital initiative, then you can go into this and, yeah, okay, I want to use this technology. We want to use this particular cloud platform or other types of things. And then what you pointed out, this change management and continuous improvement of this digital transformation process, because digital transformation doesn't mean that you codify all your habits into software code and put it on the cloud, and everything is connected with all IP network. This is just a step in the process, but you need to then sustain also this digital transformation. You need to educate your employees that they can work with this new business processes that you have, which are driven by digital transformation.
Yeah, definitely. So many good points. I actually agree with all you said, and specifically about goals and how we are starting. I think that's so important about digital transformation, that you have exact plan how to start, and even like when starting, to consider all the steps, all the risks, even before starting the implementation. So I think it's all about like being well prepared and having all the risks taken into account and all that stuff. So yeah, and having the goal why we are doing it's not about trendy thing having
Right.
digital transformation, but it's about the needs that your company have, and based on those needs you are like setting your goals, and then you are going more and more like to already the action part, right? So, and I think also the ending, I mean, not the ending, but more about when you achieve your goal, you need to kind of like, we have this in project management called lessons learned. I think that's
Yeah.
also important when you, at the end, when you are coming closer to your goal, you are looking back, understanding like what kind of mistakes, because even with having plan, nothing can go perfectly, right? So I
Right.
think that's also very important to look behind and see, okay, these are steps that we failed on. Let's just register them somewhere, and later maybe like improve them if needed, or like even sharing it with new employees so we are not doing those mistakes again. So yeah, about improving stuff as well.
Certainly,
Awesome. Yeah, and how did you identify the areas or processes that were ripe for digitalization or automation? Do you think there are specific like specific parts that are, yeah, okay, this is something that need to be digitalized, or this is exactly what I'm suggesting people that they need to take into account in their path? Is there any that kind of step that you're always mentioning?
Right. So, as I mentioned, it starts with the vision of the company. So the company has to have the clear understanding of what they want to achieve with the digital transformation. Could be that they want to improve the efficiency, the performance of their processes. They want to streamline their complete business processes that they have. They want to, let's say, improve the customer experience, how they are delivering the services to their customers. They want to improve the complete business operations, how they operate the business. These are the different questions that they need to answer. So when we get into these kind of situations, when I am in the conferences and talking about these points, because mostly I'm in cybersecurity and there comes the digital transformation part as well. And my suggestion is always, or we discuss on these topics, that you need to ask these basic questions, and once you have those questions, then you are ready for this business for your digital transformation. And then the second aspect that we talked about on automation. So automation is one is, are you doing very repetitive tasks which can be done with a software driven process? That could be the one aspect. And the other aspect could be, if you could improve the performance and efficiency of your environment, if you automate this process, can you reduce the time which is taken by your business processes in terms of development, in terms of manufacturing some products? So these are the different things that I normally talk about when I talk about digital transformation, and the need of digital transformation to improve your business or to transform your business completely.
Mhm. And you mentioned about the automation part, and we spoke about it. What do you think about AI in general? Do you think that we can take that as an advantage that we right now have in our hands for digital transformation? Is it something that, even like for those steps that we just spoke about, do you think that it is helping, or it is more like disturbing the process? What is the risk, or like,
On the automation tasks, I would say, so there are multiple technologies which are working together to achieve this automation or full automation. So AI is one of those technologies. technology. It starts with IoT technology. First, you need to put all these things together. As my colleagues always say, that IoT is the hands and foot of the AI technology. AI technology or AI application needs access to the data. You need to feed in a lot of data, and this data has to come from the sensors, from the environment where these sensors are operating, where your business, different types of processes that are happening in your business. So once you transform your business, once you connect all these different aspects of your business, if we talk about a manufacturing plant, if you want to automate some processes, then you need to install some IoT devices there, any kind of machine or any kind of process which is interesting for you to automate. And there, then you need to collect the data, put it on the cloud. And once you have this access to the data, then you can use an AI application, which could be, there are different use cases in terms of automation. One could be that you are collecting all this data and then you need to take some decisions on this data. And that's where the AI come in, and what can you learn from these data patterns, what you are collecting. Can you use AI application to, let's say, do the predictive maintenance of these machines in a production environment? So you need to really identify what use case you have with the AI technology. And I think at this point, as you mentioned, sometimes it could be a little bit disturbing. It could be a lot of noise that everyone wants to use large language models and everyone wants to generate something with the generators. AI has a lot of power, and recently I was watching a video, and there one of the use case I find quite interesting for AI application is in drug finding or for new drugs production. So there you need to, they are using AI application to find new proteins which doesn't exist, or protein synthesis. And this is quite an exciting area for an AI application. Normally it takes years and years to synthesize a protein and to understand a protein. And with AI application, they are able to reduce this life cycle, reduce this time which is taken to do all these things. And I think for sure AI is the right technology for that. So you need to identify the use case where you want to use AI application.
Yeah, so we both were on VivaTech, right? And there was this session with Elon Musk where there were quite interesting questions given. I think the one thing that I remembered from the session was his feedback on AI and the data, as you mentioned. He also mentioned about this, that like the data is so important in AI, and it's not just about the tools that we are using, but about being sure what kind of data is included in the AI platform that we are using. So yeah, I mean, I think you're really right there. It's all about the data, and also like not just injecting just because it's trendy to use AI, but also like based on the need. Do we really need it? What kind of data we are actually using in it, and then only implement the stuff on it. Awesome. Well,
just you mentioned about VivaTech. I would also mention one anecdote from VivaTech at our stand at this German pavilion that we have at VivaTech. I was talking to one of all the startups which were there from Germany, and one of the guy mentioned to me that now .ai domain is quite expensive. So even if the companies, they don't use any AI in their solutions or in their product, they want to have .ai domain, and that tells you about the noise and the hype of AI technology.
Yeah, I was actually working around VivaTech, and I remember people that were like, with whom I was speaking, and they were like, I was speaking about like the company, and basically sharing my experience and all that stuff. And every one of them, the second question was about AI. Do you have AI product? And I'm like, yeah, okay, we have, but that's not the point, right? It's like, why do you even ask about AI if I mean, well, they are really good products. I'm not saying that they are really good products that are using AI in proper way. But as you mentioned, like not every product that has AI at the end of their URL is actually like AI based or So anyway, awesome. Well, and the last question will be, what advice would you offer to our other companies or like the people that are listening to us to take into account when starting their digital transformation journey?
They need to make themselves aware about the digital transformation. They need to make them aware about the technologies which are out there for the digital transformation. And then they need to spend a lot of time, I would say, in the strategy and the vision that they have in their company regarding the digital transformation, what they want to really achieve on digital transformation. Once they have answer to these questions, then they have to go into on the drawing board, and they have to plan everything how they want to achieve this different digital initiative that they have in their company. They need to closely plan how much resources they would require. They need to have a strict timeline for all the digital initiative. And then you come to the technology part, you bring in your technology experts to implement all these things. And then I think it's also quite important, the change management and the continuous monitoring of this. Whatever digital transformation that you are doing at your company, in the end, can you measure the quality of these digital transformation? Are you really achieving what you had decided in the beginning, the objective? This digital transformation, is it giving you the benefits? For an example, if there is a furniture company in Stuttgart and for their whole life, they have sold the furnitures and their business is doing quite well. And now, because everyone is talking about digital transformation, so they also want to have a website, and through the website, they want to sell something. But they need to, it's just not enough. If you have a website, you need to also check what is your target, what kind of people you want who would go on your website and buy furniture. So these are the different questions which comes once you have implemented your digital transformation, how you monitor the quality of your digital transformation and the results which are providing. And then finally, I would say this change management. I cannot stress this more, because if your employees are not ready, I would say this is the human nature, the resistance to the change. And because digital transformation, it's not only about having a website, but it changes a lot of aspects, how you do the business, how you operate your business, and how you deliver your customers, and how you deliver your products and services to the customers. Right. That's where it's quite important that the employees are ready for this. Organizations spend some resources to upskill their employees. They make them aware, or they communicate it quite clearly, what are our goals about digital transformation, and what help would you require to be part of this digital transformation.
Awesome. Yeah, so many good points, actually. I definitely agree with that. And I think everyone should take into account giving yourself right questions, and then also about preparing your staff and like employees to the digital transformation and following up on the stuff. Yeah, very good points. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Rohit. Do you have anything else you would like to mention to our listeners? Any last words?
So I would say that don't fall in this trap of going or focusing on the technology aspect. Focus more on the vision and the strategy that you have. Why do you need the digital transformation, and what competitive advantage you want to have with your digital transformation? I stress on that.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you so much, Rohit. Thank you for coming and giving so many good inputs.
Thanks a lot.